For the London Marathon, the whole weekend experience, you could get into town 4 days before the race and pack your day morning to night with activities. Whether it's a big trip like London or going across many events throughout the year, like doing all 7 of the Abbott World Marathon majors, you need to book flights, hotels, gear, and everything. So Klarna offers the ultimate flexibility in planning ahead. So have the flexibility to pay over time, pay in 4 as you get closer to the event. And that just makes it way easier to plan out for months in advance. Like we're going through spring now, but already thinking about Sydney Marathon, Berlin, Chicago. So it's a great option for that flexibility. This is a sport where it's one foot in front of the other until you make it more. And 2 years ago, it was just that. It was one foot in front of the other. It was healing. And if you asked me if I believed that I would be chopping it up with Eliud Kipchoge.
Is your resting heart rate? No, I haven't.
42.
Thank you very much. Thanks, awesome. Thank you.
Meeting people with just inspiring stories that are overcoming the odds, like Kevin going for his record, or have started a nonprofit. I never would have believed that any of those were true. Those were not things that I was even thinking about, but sitting here today, those are things that are some of the most important parts of my life. The whole journey to do the Abbott World Marathon Majors was inspired by wanting to honor and remember my dad. And in London 2 years ago, finishing that journey, I thought that was the end of the chapter. But something changed. I went from looking internally at my own journey and my own feelings to looking at what was going on around me. Being in London that year, I saw the best of what this community had to offer. I saw the best of what these events can be, how they're much larger than any individual. Truly the community of 30 to 50 plus thousand people that have been on their own journey to get there. And it's super inspiring. And I got super inspired by learning about why everyone else was there. And when I looked around, I realized oh my gosh, everyone has an inspiring story. Everyone's been through something. Everyone is running for a reason that is deeply important to them. And that made me want to learn more. That made me want to meet people. That made me want to hear everyone's story. And when you start peeling back that onion, you find yourself in some really unexpected places. They say never meet your heroes. I completely disagree. You want to meet Eliud Kipchoge. The simplicity and the discipline of his lifestyle that has brought him such success. Eating, sleeping, breathing, what he does 24/7, you feel it in the conversation because it actually simplifies a lot of things. And so when you ask him, what are the keys to success?
It's one way of learning, because every day in life is learning. So let us learn every day. Let us try to take risks. Let us be planned and well prepared, be disciplined, try to create consistency and honesty in life, and we are ready to go and enjoy our lives.
You feel that he is doing what he says he wants to do, and that's changing the world. Also, Kelly Clarkson, that's amazing. What music do you like to listen to get yourself pumped up?
Kelly Clarkson, what does the kill you make you strong?
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
I love that. That's awesome. The last thing we need to do with Eliud Kipchoge is get him to New York and prove to him that New York has the best pizza on the planet.
New York has the best pizza.
Yes.
So someday. So someday we need to get you to New York to put it to the test. We'll need a reason to get you out there. I could think of one big one in November.
Yes.
At the right time. Big guy.
The Bronx Burners is an interesting one because it wasn't even a thought when I got my 6 star in London in 2023. And 2 months later, in Central Park, completely randomly, I met Shaq, who grew up in the Bronx. When timing and opportunity collided, we had the motivation to go say, hey, let's put ourselves out there. Let's try something different. That's all it took.
originally when we met, people like to say like it wasn't random, but it was totally random. Never seen you a day in my life. And I told you my goal about want to make it running cool in the Bronx, and for some reason you saw something in me and you said let's do it. And from day one of us meeting to like week 3 of us hanging out, we decided to start a run club and impact so many lives from that point on. The part of it that was like really touching for me was just like your commitment to like stay with it. I feel like sometimes in the Bronx people come in and they try to like extract the culture or take what's best from the culture and then leave the community to fend for itself, but a lot of people in the community realize like we're not just there to extract from the culture, we're there to like be part of the culture.
We've got every opportunity to become a big pillar in the Bronx, and we will do that. And $150,000, 14 scholarships is going to turn into $1 million fund and a community center in the Bronx. It's amazing how much you can change your life in a year. It's even more incredible how you can change other people's lives in 2 years. And can't wait to see what it looks like in 5.
We had an absolutely beautiful weekend for the London Marathon. I mean, from Friday morning, bright sunshine. I just remember us walking over Westminster Bridge on our way to the Strava run, and we had Big Ben and Parliament, and it was just like an absolutely stunning morning, and we just knew this weekend was going to be packed with energy. So we headed over the Strava run, and it was like a who's who of the running community globally that was in town. They do a really nice job just bringing together creators and runners and people who are making an impact on their communities from all over the world. And being able to share just a couple miles talking to those folks is just really good inspiration to kick off the weekend.
Good. How are you? Yeah, good. So I'm ready, man.
London is so unique in the way that they support runners who are wearing just fancy dress or going for a Guinness World Record.
I'm Tommy Trees and I'm going for the Crocs Marathon World Record.
Growing up, I always had the Guinness World Record book, in my Christmas stocking, and I always said, one day I'm gonna get myself in. And I promised myself, until that point, we keep on going. If I don't get it with this record, we're gonna try something else.
Hearing each person's individual why for why they want to go after a record is really fun. And Tommy's energy around the Crocs World Record is just absolutely hilarious. Kevin was just such a homie. I mean, to just hear the way he approached what he was doing.
We are chasing down probably one of the record for the fastest little person to ever complete the marathon. A big record for a small guy, I would say that. Word for the year, like I always try to have one, is depth and going deeper in things. And so this distance and this experience is exactly that, right? I have to go deeper than I've ever gone with my mental energy and physical energy, right? And so I work well when I don't know the outcome. It's something that you just got to step into and see what you're capable of, I would say. And so for me, this distance is going to be a test of how deep I can go.
And yeah, I've got no doubt that Kevin's going to get his record someday. We had the photo shoot in the flower garden, the exact same place the pros had just taken their headshots from their media conference and got to spend a few minutes just taking our photos in with Team Abbott and just getting the vibes right. The hardest part was getting to the press conference to meet with Marcel and Catherine.
Can you talk about what we had to do to get into this finish area?
No.
Even though we had credential and plans to meet with them, we had to get into what was still an active construction zone. We had to get into the finish line area. We needed high-vis vests that we didn't bring with us. And then eventually to get into the access point through for the press conference. So it was a comedy of successes to get into there and meet with them and see them prepare to achieve their goal on Sunday, which they did.
Marcel Hug vying for a 6th consecutive London Marathon victory, his 7th victory overall. The head goes down. It's going to be a win for Catherine de Bruyne.
So finally, we actually make it over to the hotel, and wow, like they did such a sick job with setting up the Treehouse Hotel by the New Balance team, and have a welcome cocktail reception for all the athletes staying for the weekend, and it was just, I mean, it was A+ top to bottom. The New Balance Fern out front, run your way. I mean, every detail was looked after. I mean, it was truly A+. They really just made everybody feel welcome and feel like a professional athlete, honestly. And then we got a little bit of time with the homies. And actually, the New York crew in London went out for a fun dinner. And I mean, look, the only question there was who's gonna have the most cheese on their pasta.
You blew it!
So Saturday things got real because we had the opportunity to meet with the NN team and go for a shakeout run with them and hear from their coaches. So this is literally the team that Eliud Kipchoge runs on, that many of the world's best runners run on. And we got an opportunity to hear from the best in the world on what it's like to train like the best in the world, and then how do you prepare like one of the best runners in the world.
Some people just execute a training program and forget how the training was feeling. If you're a runner, focus on this one. What is easy? What is hard? Am I recovered? Am I not recovered? Did I have a tough day in the office? Sometimes you don't feel like running. Do me a favor, please don't go for a run, because that is for a reason. And a lot of athletes, they just suppress these feelings, and then at the end of the day, they have an injury, or they just don't like running anymore, or they underperform.
We were late to make it to the Expo. It wasn't until late Saturday afternoon. I thought it would be empty. It was absolutely rammed. But what a vibe. I mean, they had the DJ up basically like in the rafters, just setting an incredible vibe. Had the opportunity to speak on a panel with Abbott, talking about their Lingo Bio wearable, which is a continuous glucose monitor that I've used for training and racing, and I've learned a ton from it, so I get really excited at the opportunity to share my learnings so that other people can, take advantage of that type of technology as well. It's just amazing to see, how quickly your life can change, how quickly some of these relationships can be formed. The fact that I have something to say there just means a lot that can deliver value to the running community, and it is fun to be able to share that. There's two moments before the race that always stick with me. One is preparing the night before. 3 massive races done now when we exit London. The trip to Tokyo, here in London, even getting up to Boston. And we've got a big fall to plan. And it's been great to have the flexibility of booking everything with Klarna and being able to book the flight I want, book a hotel. I mean, this is big for us for Sydney. Laying out the bib, the outfit, getting the jersey ready. It always hits you. Like we've been going the whole weekend, fast. And then like when you have that moment, like you click over. It's like, oh yeah, I've got a race tomorrow. And no matter how I'm feeling leading up to that moment, that's when it all comes back and that's when it all hits. Then race morning, once you arrive at the start site, you feel that energy again. You get the nervous energy that everyone is emoting who's about to go through this, 42.2 kilometers together, and you can't help but to feel what's going on, in your body. And you need to pause and feel those feelings. I often find that those moments before the race is when I reflect on those most deeply, or can be in touch with them before the gun goes off.
If you believe in anything,
yourself. Set a dream, put it out there, and make it happen. Let's go.
The feeling of accomplishment when you get to the finish line is just the same.
Look at that thing. That's epic. How good.
There he is.
Let's go. Thank you, Jack. Well done.
There's our guy. Our guy. Get down, Rob Dawson. There we go.
And that moment receiving your 6-star can be super powerful. And having had the opportunity to build a relationship with Abbott with so many runners globally over the last couple of years, that moment is really special. You know, when I got my first 6-star, Judy gave me that 6-star, and we had already formed a bond.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations. Is there going to be another video?
There's going to be a lot of videos.
Oh.
And I mean, just like anything, when you are doing something hard, when you're doing something super meaningful, you form bonds very quickly. And last year, Tom and I ran all the Abbott World Marathon majors together. And so to have him there, last year he gave me my second 6-star. This year for my third, Judy, Tom, and of course Ted, who's the race director and head of events for New York Roadrunners. He is the person that puts on the New York City Marathon. Those moments are so powerful. I couldn't have asked for a better moment for me in the sport. The finish line is just one piece of completing a race. You know, it's a moment, but the party continues, and had the opportunity to go to the Abbott hospitality following the race, and the team at Abbott has really become so much more than just a friend or a partner. Like it truly has become like family. You know, traveling all over the world, seeing each other in these just amazing larger-than-life moments, and completely unexpected. They had a little surprise for me completing the race and getting another 6-star.
We have 2 runners today who completed their 6-star. One of them, their first 6-star. One of them is third 6-star.
Oh, yeah. Let's go!
So in addition to the medal that you got today, there's also something else that you can't buy, and that is the Abbott World Marathon Majors 6-star jacket.
I mean, getting my third 6-star is incredible, and it was, you go through these weekends and you're like, how can it ever be topped? But we've got work to do. We've got the rest of the Expo World Marathon majors to run. We've got moments to create for others. We've got $1 million to raise for the Bronx Burners. We've got the fastest marathon I've ever run still ahead. So we've got things to take care of. 2025, we've got 3 majors down. We've got 4 to go. These moments are incredible, but we're out to build something even more meaningful than the miles between here and the finish line in New York City. So we'll see you in Sydney.